And this week's quote comes from the legendary author Jane Austen, of course, of Pride and Prejudice fame. And Jane Austen said this: "An annuity is a very serious business. It comes over and over every year, and there is no getting rid of it." I love that. It's like, it's gonna stick with you. That's one of the great things about annuities. It sticks around.
It's like a really hearty meal of meat and potatoes on a cold winter day, right? Just really, really satisfying. Now, listen, folks, Jane was talking about annuities way back in the 1800s. And yes, they have been around that long. But let me tell you something. The truth behind that quote is absolutely timeless. What Jane was actually getting at is this: when you have an annuity that is set up properly, it shows up over and over, month after month, year after year, just like clockwork. It does not miss a beat. And in retirement, that kind of reliability, folks, is everything. So you see, when you retire, your paycheck stops. But guess what doesn't? Your bills. You still have to buy groceries. You still have to keep the lights on. You're still paying for gas. You're still paying for health care. They don't care that you hung up your work boots, right? And that's where annuities shine. When structured correctly, and I cannot stress that more importantly, they can guarantee income that you can't outlive, and they become a financial foundation, not just a fad. Now, let me be clear, very, very clear. Not every annuity is created equal. Just like you wouldn't trust just anybody with your life savings, you can't just grab any old annuity off the shelf. That's why I do what I do, to help folks understand the difference between a good annuity and a bad annuity, between retirement building blocks and then a financial trap. But when done right, just like Jane said, there is no getting rid of it. And folks, that's a good thing. So if you are looking to build a retirement income plan that shows up, rain or shine, give me a call. Let's talk about what a guaranteed income stream could mean for you and your peace of mind, because retirement isn't about just getting by. It's about living with confidence. Stick around, folks. More wisdom and retirement truths coming your way.
Yeah, absolutely right. We've got a whole bunch of them here on the show. And of course, once again, the number, if you would like to get in touch with Mike, as he was saying there, give him a call, reach out, 704-560-1573. And, it amazes me, Mike, about how, we'll look back at, you just highlighted it there, talking about Jane Austen, talking about annuities back, going on 200 years ago. It's kind of crazy that they have been around that long. And then it's also kind of crazy that they have, kind of changed quite a bit and evolved quite a bit during that time. Like the sort of basic premise is still the same, but obviously right. It's kind of like, a new model year of car coming out, every once in a while. It's like they do a little redesign. They do make it a little more aerodynamic, some more fuel efficiency, some more safety features and all of those things. And that's what's happened to annuities over time as well. And, really do help people get that guaranteed income in their retirement years. It's really, just a great thing to have, another tool in your tool belt.
It is. And I'm glad that you pointed out the 1800s. They've actually been around since the time of Julius Caesar. Okay. So annuities are one of the longest standing financial instruments that you can use, but you hit the nail on the head with your analogy of cars, right? Coming out with, a new model. Things have changed a lot since Henry Ford came out with the Model T. I know that I very much enjoy driving my GMC pickup truck because of its refinements and all of the things, right? A lot different than the Model T. So retirement planning in and of itself can be an extremely daunting task, but one financial tool that can provide you significant peace of mind is an annuity.
Yeah, absolutely right. And annuities are, designed really to help people grow their money while they're still working, but then also provide a steady income stream in retirement. And that's particularly useful during those years because obviously the paycheck from your workplace stops And, you got to replace that somehow. So let's replace that maybe with an annuity if that's something that's right for you. And what we're going to do here, Mike, over the next few minutes is really help people understand what annuities are, how they work, how they can provide that guaranteed stream of income for life, and why the annuities today are, as we say, different than those of yesteryear, of previous generations. They're not your grandfather's annuities, in other words. So the very first sort of basic question for anybody who, okay, now they've been listening for a few minutes to us talk here. They've heard the word annuity a few times. On the very sort of basic level, what is an annuity?
So an annuity is simply a financial contract between you and an insurance company. People get insurance for everything, right? You buy health insurance, life insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, boat insurance. This is a way to insure your money, okay? You're going to pay a certain amount of money either as a lump sum or in installments. And then in return, the insurance company agrees to pay you back a fixed sum of money periodically, either for a specific period or for the rest of your life. And that income stream can supplement other retirement income sources like Social Security, a pension if you're fortunate enough to have one, any IRAs that you have. And it just helps ensure that you do not outlive your savings.
Yeah, it's can be so crucial. And then, so under the hood, then how do annuities work? I mean, you mentioned that there are contracts with insurance companies, and that's really it's a highly regulated thing. It's not just like the Wild West out there. There are a lot of rules and regulations that the insurance companies have to follow, and those are, of course, all for the benefit and the safety of people's money and their investments.
Yeah, so every single state has its own Department of Insurance. While banks are insured by the Federal Deposit Insurance Commission, FDIC, every single state has the State Insurance Commission Department of Insurance, right? So the insurance company owns the annuity, and they are responsible for providing the payouts. The annuitant, or the person who takes out the contract, pays in the premium and is responsible for paying any taxes due from those regular payments, just like they would, taking money out of a 401k or an IRA. The beneficiary is the person who receives the payouts if the annuitant dies. All right. So in other words, me and my wife, we're married. If I pay the annuity, I die, my wife gets the lump sum benefit. So the financial strength of the insurance company that you choose to work with is crucial so that you can be sure the annuity payments will be made as agreed.